Accelerated passage is a term we've been hearing quite a lot up here. It basically means a bill is rushed through its various stages and bypasses the committee stage. Often that is to the annoyance of committee members. And we saw a bit of that today as Margaret Ritchie asked fellow MLAs to grant accelerated passage to the Child Maintenance Bill. Firstly, she explained why and what the bill was about.
My reason for seeking accelerated passage is that the Department for Work and Pensions is planning to implement the proposal to break the link between child maintenance and the benefit system from July of this year, just 1 month away, and to ensure that the proposals in the bill are implemented at the same time as in Britain. The bill needs to pass all its stages in the Assembly before the summer recess, just 3 weeks away. And should it not do so, parents with care in Northern Ireland will continue to have £24.20 a week deducted from their benefit and will be worse off than those in Britain until such times as the law is changed. And for the purposes of clarity, Mr Speaker, I would like to repeat that again. To ensure that the proposals in the bill are implemented at the same time as in Britain, the bill needs to pass all its stages in this Assembly before the summer recess. And should it not do so, parents with care requirements or with care responsibilities in Northern Ireland will be worse off than those in Britain by £24.20. Do members in this House want that to happen? I pose that question to members of this House, and I leave that with you.
Now, you might have thought you heard Margaret Ritchie say that twice. In fact, she did. She was making sure she got her point across, no doubt. There was never any doubt that the bill would get its accelerated passage, but even so, Sinn Féin did raise some concerns. Carol Ní Killen was unhappy that the committee wouldn't get a chance to look at the legislation in depth.
It was no secret that Sinn Féin had difficulties over this particular bill going through accelerated passage because of a few of the reasons I'll outline. We are supporting it because we are also on the side of children and on the side of people who are trying their best to reduce, if not eradicate, child poverty. And anyone who would be content with lone parents losing £24.20 at this stage, no one could support that. It's worth mentioning that the Executive noted the accelerated passage. My understanding was it didn't actually support. It wasn't asked for support. It was asked for it to be noted. I just feel that I understand the Minister's position in terms of most of the legislation is done by a party route. The difficulty that most members will have with significant legislation come through this House is the lack of the ability to scrutinise, which is very, very difficult to do at the best of times. But particularly when the route of the legislation coming through is by accelerated passage, it's only the opportunity we have in this House, albeit a very limited one, to question, scrutinise and even recommend certain aspects that need to be considered.
Sinn Féin's Carol Ní Killen there. Well, Minister Ritchie wasn't having any of that, and as she wrapped the motion, she responded to Sinn Féin's points with a few sharp criticisms of her own, accusing her coalition partners of having another agenda.
There is a point that I will have to address rather reluctantly to the Sinn Féin benches. I question whether or not they are acting in good faith in all of this. They condemn the equality impact statement we carried out, yet they had no comment to make on it at the appropriate time between December and February. Instead, they attacked the minutiae of the equality impact assessment, hours before the legislation was due to be considered by the Executive. They then relent at the Executive Committee and let the bill proceed. They then vote against it in the DSD Committee. They then support accelerated passage today on this floor. I cannot help but conclude that the points about the equality impact assessment and human rights are not a sign that Sinn Féin really cares, but rather are a smokescreen for old-fashioned mischief-making. And if they really cared about the detail of social security legislation, they would join with the rest of us and drop their old-fashioned abstentionism and take their seats at Westminster, where they could exercise real influence over these matters at every juncture, during every stage of the bill at Westminster.